Hi, my name is Michelle Christensen. I'm the College and Career Specialist at Edmonds High School, and today I want to talk to you about private scholarships, how students can find them, and how to apply for them. This is the topic that I'm probably asked to speak about more than anything else, so I have a lot of great information to share with you. Let's get started. So, what exactly is a scholarship? Well, a scholarship is a financial award that's issued to a student that allows them to help offset the cost of any education after high school. So this could be something like a four-year university, a community college, apprenticeship training, or career training. Basically, any kind of school after high school you can find and apply scholarships to. The best part about scholarships is the money does not have to be paid back usually. So they're what's known as gift aid. The money is given to the student and the student is able to use it to help offset the cost of their education. And as long as they're making satisfactory academic progress or there's no major discipline issues, they haven't been asked to leave college, they usually don't have to be paid back. Some scholarships are based on merit. Merit means it's something that you can do or something that you are. And the value of that merit is determined by the college or the organization that's offering the scholarship. So usually you see the term merit applied to things like academics. Students that are high achieving academically, they have a high GPA or a high SAT, ACT test score, may be eligible for academic merit-based scholarships, or athletic scholarships would be considered merit-based scholarships. But sometimes merit-based scholarships can apply to things like being a first-generation student. So you're the first person in your family to go to college. Some colleges will consider that and offer a scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship. It's something that you are. Other scholarships are going to be based on need. And by need, I'm talking about demonstrated financial need. That's going to be determined by submitting the FAFSA or the WASPA. So many families may feel like they need financial help, but until you submit either the FAFSA or the WASPA, you will not be determined to have what we call demonstrated financial need. And that's really going to be an important topic. We're going to talk more about that later. The amount of a scholarship will be different. Every single scholarship is going to offer different amounts. You'll see them as small as $100 and all the way up to many tens of thousands of dollars. Scholarships can be a one-time award where you receive $1 amount and then it's it, or they can be renewable, which means you'd receive the same award each year that you're in college, or perhaps 2 or 4 years while you need it while you're in college. Scholarships are very often competitive. That means that more people are applying to the scholarship than they have money to give. So not everybody will receive a scholarship that they apply for. So where do scholarships come from? Where's the money for these come from? Two very, very large sources. So the first source is going to be government and institutional scholarships. This means the federal or the United States government and the state government, for us, the state of Washington, as well as the colleges that are offering these scholarships. So that's where you're going to find the very large dollar amount scholarships. These are applied for by submitting either the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, or the WASPA, which is the Washington Application for Student Financial Aid. You submit one of those two government financial aid applications, and by doing so, you are automatically considered for all sources of financial aid through the United States government, through the state of Washington government, and then every institution that you have named on either your FAFSA or your WASPA. That's how you get the largest dollar amount scholarships. So if you have not already submitted your FAFSA or your WASPA, and it is after October 1st of the student's senior year in high school, you want to get that document submitted as quickly as possible online. Then we have much smaller dollar amount awards that are offered through private organizations. Those are going to be the scholarships that we're going to talk about in this presentation. The small private scholarships that are offered by local and regional organizations. They're administered locally and they're reserved for students in the area. So let's talk a little bit about private scholarships. Again, each one is going to be different. It's going to be different in the amount of money it's worth. The application process will be unique and different from each one. The requirements for each scholarship will be unique, and the deadline will be different. So every single private scholarship will have different rules. They will not all be open and available at one date, and they will not all have the same deadline, and they will not all be the same dollar amount. Everything will be unique. A typical application for a private scholarship is going to involve the student completing a form, perhaps writing an essay, maybe providing letters of recommendation and or transcripts from the high school. The organization that's offering the scholarship is going to be able to determine what type of student they want to support, as well as the process for selecting that student. And then applicants are going to compete with other students who are also applying to win that same scholarship. So you are not guaranteed to win a scholarship that you apply for. You will apply and other students will apply, and your goal is to be selected, but there is a chance you could apply for many scholarships and never be awarded any of them. But the opposite is also true. You could receive every single scholarship that you apply for. You don't know if you don't try. And if you have a question about a private scholarship, the only way to get it answered is to reach out directly to the organization that's offering it and get your questions answered by them. Usually there'll be an email or a phone number with the application where you can get any questions you have answered. So, most common question I get asked, where can my student find scholarships to apply for? The place to look is Naviance. So every student in the Edmonds School District has access to a paid subscription of college and career research software called Naviance. Students should log into their Naviance account. Under the Colleges tab at the top of their homepage, they will select Scholarship Search in the Scholarships and Money column. You can see I've indicated that with the arrow in the picture. And once you click that, you're going to be able to see the entire database of local and regional scholarships available for students in the Edmonds School District. Now, parents, I know you would like to go ahead and get into this database and get started helping your students with these applications. And unfortunately, because Naviance is a paid subscription, you do not have access to their account. So your student will have to log in using their Google student credentials, and then you'll be able to access the information, but you won't be able to search for Naviance on the web and log in that way. So this is what the Naviance Scholarship Search database looks like. And as you can see, you're going to have on the left links to the names of different scholarships, and it's going to show the pending deadline for submission, the amount of the award, and then an option to favorite them. So basically all you need to do, click on a scholarship. It's going to expand that window. It's going to give you a description of the scholarship, tell you what criteria they're looking for so you can identify ones that you're a good fit for. It's going to, again, have a link so that you can click on it to submit the application. All the information you need, contact information, will all be in there for each one of the scholarships. Now, you can sort and you can filter. I do not recommend applying filters because I find that students are missing scholarships that they are eligible for by using the filters. So I think the best thing for you to do is to just click on each one and quickly read through it. If you qualify for it, mark it as a favorite, and then come back and start working on the applications versus filtering where you might miss scholarships that you're eligible for. One thing I want to bring to your attention is a specific scholarship. We have a scholarship pool provided by the Foundation for Edmonds School District. So these scholarships are supplied only to graduating seniors in the Edmonds School District, which means your competition pool is quite small. The pool is about 40 different scholarships. The student only needs to submit one application in order to be considered for all of the scholarships in the pool. So all 40 scholarships with just one application. That application opens every year in October, and it typically stays open until March. Every graduating senior in the Edmonds School District should consider applying for this. They have scholarships, everything from two-year community colleges to four-year universities, trade schools, a laptop computer, lots of different options. Some are specific for different high schools, but again, one application will get you considered for an entire pool of scholarships exclusive for students in the Edmonds School District. This is in that Naviance Scholarship Search database, but I'm also going to add the individual link down in the description so you can link right to it and check it out. Where are some other great places for students to look for scholarships? Parents and grandparents. So ask around. If you have a parent or grandparent that's a member of a union, they may offer a scholarship to the offspring of their union members. There may be scholarships offered through their employment or through civic organizations that they participate in. Maybe they're a member of the Eagles or the Elks or the Moose Club, anything like that. There may be scholarships offered to the descendants of folks that participate in those organizations. Ask about church. Maybe if you have a job, for example, if you, the student, work at McDonald's, McDonald's typically offers scholarships to their graduating seniors who have worked part-time during high school at McDonald's. So that's a great opportunity. And then the place that you bank, many credit unions and banks also offer scholarship applications to their members who bank with them. If you're a member of a youth development organization, so this might be something like Scouts or 4-H, generally they will offer scholarships for students. And then any ethnic, racial, cultural, or heritage groups or membership organizations that you identify with, a lot of times those organizations will offer scholarships specifically for younger people that are members of their heritage groups. And if you participate in any hobbies or clubs, look for adult organizations that also participate in those same hobbies or clubs, because oftentimes they will offer scholarships to the younger generation. Anything about you that's unique or personal is a good place to do an internet search to try to find a scholarship. So there's a scholarship for people that are left-handed, for people who are red-haired, for people that have certain conditions or certain illnesses even. So those are great places to look for scholarships. If you are involved in your community or you volunteer, your odds of finding scholarships are probably much higher, because most organizations that offer scholarships look to reward students that also are civically oriented and volunteer. So this could be things like the Rotary, the Kiwanis, things of that nature. So adult service organizations many, many times offer scholarships that are geared towards students who are active in their community. And if you have an idea of what you might want to study in college, you're going to want to look to the professional organizations in that career field. So for example, if you think you want to become a teacher and you plan to study education in college, I would look to professional teacher organizations to see if they're offering scholarships, or engineers. Perhaps you want to be an engineer. Look to professional engineering organizations, because generally they will offer scholarships for students who want to pursue engineering or want to pursue education. Now, those are the easy, kind of more safe and local scholarships, but there are also national scholarships, a great many amount of national scholarships that are offered. The issue is they tend to be kind of an opportunity for scams and for clickbait and ways to grab your information. So I'm going to encourage any student who is going to consider applying to the large national scholarships to be very, very cautious. And we're going to talk a lot more about that. So in Naviance, if you're interested in applying to national scholarships, right above where you found the local and regional scholarships, there's an option where you can see with the arrow that says National Scholarship Search. So if you click that, you will open up a window that provides you with the opportunity to share some information about yourself, and then it will match you with as many national scholarship opportunities as it can find. And it will be up to you to then filter through all of them to find ones that you actually may qualify for. And again, just be real careful with what information you're sharing. So here is a list of many, many other national scholarship search engines. There must be 100 of them available. So this is just a small sample, but I'm going to go ahead and add the links down to the description so you have them. I will say, as a disclaimer, I have not vetted any of these. I have no idea if they're safe or not, and they are not endorsed by me Edmonds Woodway High School or the Edmonds School District. We have no idea if they're safe or not, so please, students, be careful. I will say that they all basically pull the exact same information, so they're all using fairly identical algorithms to find the scholarships to match to you. It's mostly just a decision on your part of which one you like the looks of, which one seems to be more functional for you. So I think they're all going to give you the same information. It's just a matter of which one you like. And then my other disclaimer when it comes to national search engines is I have never met anybody who's actually won a large national corporate scholarship, and I've never met anybody who has won one. So I really would encourage you to look locally and regionally first before moving into national options. So this is my moment to caution you. I will recommend that you create an email just for scholarship applications if you're going to apply to the national ones. You don't want to plug up your school or your private email with all the spam and junk that you're going to get from applying to those, especially while you're applying to colleges. You need to make sure you're watching for communications from the colleges you're applying to and answering them. And I don't want your email to be so full with garbage that you miss messages from your colleges. Be very, very careful of scams. These things are loaded with scams. So never, ever pay to apply for a scholarship. Do not supply your social security number. I wouldn't give them your cell phone number. I would only provide them with a junk email. And yes, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So I have not vetted any of these. Neither has the school or the school district. So be warned, you will be applying at your own risk. So just be real careful out there. I also want to address something very important known as the middle income gap. So we talked briefly about submitting the FAFSA or the WASPA to determine whether or not you will be considered as having demonstrated financial need by the government, which is different than my family needs money. So you are about to find out as you start applying for private scholarships that scholarships will say you must be able to provide demonstrated financial need in order to apply for the private scholarship. So it is exactly what you think it is. Students who qualify for government aid, meaning they have demonstrated financial need and are receiving financial aid from the government, will also be allowed to apply for private scholarships. And students who their family makes just a little bit too much money and they aren't going to qualify for any government aid will also be excluded from applying for many private scholarships. So you are absolutely going to see that a lot, and it is very frustrating. And unfortunately, I just don't know what to tell folks other than it is absolutely an issue. So how do you get organized, and really what's the best system for applying for lots of private scholarships? First thing I would recommend, again, create that separate email if you're going to apply to those large national scholarships. Keep track of your deadlines using a calendar. So this could be a paper calendar. It could also be, your Google Calendar or the calendar on your phone. I would recommend putting the due date of the application a couple of days before the actual due date. So my example would be if a scholarship application is due February 1st, I would put in your calendar that the actual due date is like January 28th. And then about January 20th, I would put a reminder to submit that scholarship. So basically like 2 weeks before the true due date, make sure you have time to get all your information gathered and get it submitted, and then that you tell yourself the due date is a couple of days before the actual due date, just in case you fall behind. And I would use a binder if you're a paper person, or a spreadsheet if you're a digital person, to organize and track everything. So I'd make a column that says the name of the scholarship, and I'd link the application right to it, and I'd put the due date, and I'd put the fake due date, the 2 weeks prior due date, and I would put whether or not I needed to submit an essay and put the essay topic right in there. And then I would put whether I need 1 or 2 letters of recommendation and whether I need a transcript or a resume or whatever they're asking me for. I'd put that all on my spreadsheet, and then I'd arrange it by date so that I knew what I needed to do in order of when I needed to do it. And then you want to prioritize your submissions by deadline And then secondarily, by the strength of your application. So what this means is you want to work on the ones where the deadline is earliest, right? So you're going to focus on the ones with the closest deadline. But then if you have multiple that are have the same deadline, you want to really focus on the ones that your odds of winning are better. So this means as you're looking at the requirements, if you meet 3 out of the 4 requirements, then that one you'll prioritize over a scholarship where you only meet 1 of the 5 criteria that they ask for, because your odds of winning that are much less. So don't pay attention to the dollar amount. This is a common mistake where a student will say, well, this scholarship is for $5,000, so I'm going to focus on it, even though I don't meet very much of the criteria. And then they let 3 $1,000 scholarships that they're very strong for pass by, and they don't even apply for them. Your odds of winning 1, 2, or 3 of the $1,000 scholarships is probably much better than the long shot of winning the $5,000. So make sure you're prioritizing your odds of winning. Save all of your essay attempts. This is super important. You are going to find out that as you start writing essays for scholarships, they are basically the same. You're going to see, tell us about a time where you had a challenge and you persevered through it, or tell us about your community service and what that means to you. They're going to be slightly different, but they're going to be basically the same theme. So as you write an essay, save it, because you're going to find you're going to be able to recycle it. So it's going to be slow in the beginning when you're just writing these from scratch, but once you have them written, you're going to be able to either recycle the exact same essay or slightly change it and save yourself a lot of time and send it to multiple different scholarship applications. So what I recommend doing is just having a Word document and just literally dumping them all in, maybe putting some headings on there about challenge, community service, perseverance, but dumping every sentence, every partial paragraph in there, because you never know when you'll have a moment of genius to finish that thought, or you'll be able to recycle it. If you find that you need letters of recommendation, these are going to be different than the letters that you ask teachers to write you to help you when you apply to college. When you're applying to college, the colleges want to know what kind of a student you are in the classroom. But when you're applying to scholarships, people want to know about your character. They want to know that you're a great human being and that they should invest in your future. So you want to get maybe 2 letters of recommendation from people who can speak genuinely about you as a person, whether that's about the strength of your character, any challenges that you've overcome, how involved you are with your community, your leadership skills, but just generally that you are this great person talking about you in this way, so that you can recycle them and send them to multiple different scholarship applications. So basically you only have 2 letters and you recycle them and send them to all your applications. And then you're going to see that these scholarship essays repeat, and just change them slightly. Just make sure you don't name the scholarship in your writing. Don't, say, the Boeing Employees Credit Union scholarship, and then send it off to Rotary. Make sure you're reading through, you don't have anything personal like that in it, but you can recycle your writing and things will go much quicker for you. So how do you actually win a scholarship? Well, becoming and staying active in your community in school. And I mean this through college too. So if you're applying for high school scholarships, if you find that you don't qualify for a lot of scholarships because you haven't been very active, take that as a lesson and then apply it to your future. When you go off to college, get really involved at your college, do lots of days of service, and, get involved by, helping out with move-in day, or, mentoring, or things of that nature. Because the more that you get connected, the more people you meet, the more you do, then the more scholarships you're going to be eligible for when you get to college. So make connections with people, whether that's in the community, whether it's at your college, whether it's in high school, your teachers, your employer. Just connect with people. Don't keep to yourself. Get to know people. Ask them about themselves. Talk about yourself. Make connections. That's how you're going to find out about scholarships. That's how you're going to have people who can write you recommendations. And that's how you're going to just learn more about the world and what you want to study, all kinds of things. Develop your skills as a writer and storyteller. So the thing is, when you're a high school student and you're writing essays, they're generally academic in nature, research-based. But when you're writing your college application essays and writing scholarship essays, these are much more storytelling. They're much more about sharing thoughts and bringing your writer or reader into your story and having them get to know you. So the better storyteller you are, the more engaging your story, the more appealing your application is. Make sure you read the scholarship description carefully. So if you do this, the organization is going to tell you what their mission is, what they stand for, the reason they exist, what are their goals, and that's going to tell you about the type of student that they want to support. So you want to make sure you are highlighting the characteristics and experiences that you have that mesh well with the organization's goals and the qualities that they're looking for in order to give out their scholarship. So, and if the scholarship is named after a person, we call this a memorial scholarship. So generally the person has passed away and their family or friends have made the scholarship in their memory to honor them. You want to highlight your personal characteristics and interests that coincide with that person's, because they are trying to honor this person in their memory. So they are looking for students that that person probably would have liked. So the more you can make yourself appealing in that nature, then the more likely you are to be selected among the other applicants. And remember, scholarship committees, the people who are getting together, talking about your application and deciding which student is going to win the scholarship, they want to feel good about helping someone. So your application should address to them why you're a good investment of their money and why you need it. So if you do not fit demonstrated financial need, but you do need the money, this is your opportunity to tell them exactly that. My family doesn't qualify for financial aid from the government, but we don't have enough extra money to help with college. I really need this money because I will not get any financial aid. That's where you tell them, so that when those people talk and look over your application, they have that information and that can help them decide who they want to give their money to. And again, apply to a lot of scholarships. So like I said before, it's going to be slow in the beginning. You're going to have to write some essays and it's going to go slow. But once you've written a few of those essays and submitted a couple of scholarships, you're going to find you already have the materials and you're going to be able to recycle them and just project them out, send them to lots of different scholarships, and then it's going to go much faster. So slow getting started. A lot of students quit and they don't keep applying, and that's where the ones who persevere through and continue to submit applications, they're going to get more scholarships. So in a nutshell, the way you win scholarships is to continue to be the best version of yourself as much as you possibly can. So participate in life, participate in activities, develop relationships, mentor, be mentored, volunteer, and of course, keeping your grades as high as possible at all times. Go to class every day, turn in every assignment, keep that GPA as high as you can. Practice writing skills, and then apply for the early scholarship opportunities. So this is in grades 9, 10, and 11. Whenever you see writing contests or art contests, submit to them. Even if you don't win, you're getting practice and you're going to get better at it, and you're going to be more efficient when you are a senior. So really, the only way to get ahead with scholarships, besides preparing yourself by participating in life, is at the beginning of 11th grade, you can kind of get started and organized to get ready for senior year. Most scholarships are only going to be available for students who are seniors in high school. So my advice, take advantage of the calmness of your junior year of high school, because senior year is going to be very, very hectic for you. So what you can do right now is look at all the scholarship applications that are only available to the seniors, look in that Naviance scholarship search, and make notes of the essay prompts and go ahead and write those essays right now. So pull up the Foundation for Edmonds Schools and look at the essay prompt and write the essay now, because the essay prompts rarely change from year to year. They're basically almost the same, and if not, you're going to be able to recycle it for a different scholarship application. The writing is the time-consuming part. So if you do this your junior year and you save it, once you're a senior, all you're going to have to do is fill out the form and attach that completed essay and send it off. And you are going to be so efficient and be able to submit so many scholarship applications, because you won't have to worry about finding time to write the essays. It's also great practice for your college application essays. So if you're writing these scholarship essays now throughout your junior year, you are going to have so much practice writing good storytelling essays that when you write your college application essay over the summer before you start your senior year, you are going to be just excellent and you're going to write a really great college admission essay. Establish that organization system right now. So that was the spreadsheet or the binder, depending if you like paper or digital. And again, going into that Naviance scholarship search and starting to put things on that spreadsheet, asking around from your parents and at your job and all that to try to find local scholarships, putting them on that spreadsheet. Do that now. And then as you're starting to develop your list of colleges, so remember 11th grade is the year that you're researching where you're going to apply, because you're actually going to start writing the essay to that college over the summer. So you want to know where you're going to apply before you leave at the end of your junior year. Before you leave for summer vacation, you're going to have a good idea of where you're applying to college. So you should be spending junior year researching colleges. As you're researching your colleges, ask them about any great financial incentives that they might offer to a student like you. And if you find out that a college you're interested in doesn't really offer you any financial incentives, maybe don't apply to that college. Maybe take it off your list and start looking for the colleges that you could actually afford to attend should you be admitted. All right, good luck, everybody. And if you have any questions whatsoever, I am Michelle Christensen, the College and Career Specialist at Edmonds Woodway High School, and you are welcome to come in and see me anytime. Thank you so much for watching.